If you want to gain millions of mastery points while in auto farming, you are in the right place. As your fellow player with more than thousands hours of experience, I will be giving you 4 of the absolute best methods to farm MSP in the latest DLC. These methods will let you earn a whopping 1.5 million MSP per hourly run without even playing the game. Get endgame summoning crystals and more. You will also learn the absolute best auto farming builds that will save you hundreds of hours of guesswork, so you can be truly overpowered and break the DLC in the fastest time possible. Like for example, the Revenge of the Ooze quest will allow the player to hunt celestial slimes that can give a ton of MSP per kill, along with regular slimes and the golden ones in a whole farming session. And yes, my dear viewer, you can run this spot with consistent gains in full auto with the right builds and setup, so you don't want to miss this method.
But hey Samurai my dudes, are we getting delusional in here? Since I believe Revenge of the Ooze quest is the best in the game according to a lot of sources.
I got you, my dear viewer, and I can assure you that this is not a mistake. I do have a very strong reason why the Revenge of the Ooze quest is not really the best spot in the game, especially if you want the best use of your limited time. But hold this thought for now, as I will be stating the reason when I get to the actual best spots in the game to make this guide cohesive. Players can access the Revenge of the Ooze quest by unlocking the Chaos Plus difficulty. You can pretty much access this quest mid-game into the DLC, so you can start earning millions of MSP if you just started the expansion. You can run Revenge of the Ooze and get an insane amount of MSP in full auto as mentioned, but it is only possible if you do have the right characters and build set as your main farmers. A lot of you asked me to release an optimized auto farming setup, so I made a dedicated build for this method. There's no way that you will be getting the best results without my guy Eustace on your team. He is the key character that will jumpstart this method because of the unique character design he has. All of the regular slimes in this method do not attack the player unless the player attacks them first. And Eustace's overall firepower depends on his distance from the enemy, so his AI behavior tends to slide in and get into the optimal range and make the first attack. And the whole party's killing spree will start from there. If you want to make your runs as efficient and consistent as possible, this skill lineup is highly suggested. Heavens Comes Down can hit multiple slimes at once, allowing Eustace to be in a momentum of killing multiple targets. And Forever Yours will even put Eustace in killing motion, hitting multiple targets at once. And as mentioned, I made a dedicated endgame build just for this method, so it is understandable that the builds that you will be seeing here are close to perfect ones. This guide's main purpose is to give you the best results in the late game, and you do have 4 well-built characters to farm and raise your other 24 remaining characters in the game. If you don't have the ability to replicate my exact setup in here, it is totally fine. Just work with what you have and you will still get decent results while in auto farming. Our boy Eustace is using his Keep Your Foes Closer master style to force his AI behavior to close in on enemies much more frequently, equipped with the best sigils and traits and a max transcended terminus weapons. You can pretty much use any optimized ranged characters for the remaining party slots. So once Eustace hits the slime, your entire party will start to mobilize and go in for the kill. Magliel is of course my second best choice when it comes to ranged characters. Like Eustace, she is equipped with the best possible endgame setup to make your runs much more consistent. Rakam will take the third slot, equipped with the Coffin Maker master style, so he can just be your human turret, killing slimes on the battlefield like a warmonger. Of course, expect him to have the best equipment all around just like his teammates. You will also notice that there are irrelevant traits included in the build, like the Uplift trait, Nimble Onslaught, and so on, since I am also using these characters as my boss killers in other methods. Feel free to remove the traits that you don't actually need for this specific method. Eugen is by far the strongest ranged character in the game, not because I like him but because of pure data after extensive AI companion test. He is pretty much overkill for the slimes, but I decided to just use him because why not? You are welcome to use something like Twayen and replace Eugen, which is totally fine and will give you the same results. And if you just started the DLC and want to access a mid-game build, you can check my mid-game MSP farming methods and builds. Link in the description or find the video by clicking the card here. The actual full auto runs goes like this. Eustace will go in for the kill in the nearest pack of slimes, and the whole party will go on a killing spree. You can totally see here that Eustace's master style forces him to reach the slimes located on the other side of the arena, even though they are out of his effective range. Eventually, the bigger slimes will start to spawn in the center of the arena, along with the celestial slimes that can give you tons of MSP per kill. And from here, enjoy the continuous chaos until the mission ends. This will give you almost 100% consistency in scoring a ton of MSP. I mentioned an almost 100% consistency, right? Because no matter how perfect your setup is, there's still a chance that your Eustace and your other characters can still encounter idle times if they land on a not so good spot. But these instances are so minimal if you do have the setup that I asked you to build, and can still score 100 slimes that are usually worth 65k MSP per session. The usual good runs that I am having are when the party scores between 130 to 150 slimes, and this results in an insane 85k plus MSP per attempt. The actual in-game clear time states 3 minutes for each attempt, but if you factor in the loading times, the actual real-world clear time is around 3 minutes and 40 seconds. In an hour of consistent farming, that's a whopping 1 million to 1.5 million MSP on average per hourly runs. There's no doubt that this spot is the best when it comes to raw MSP gains per hour. Overall, I see the Revenge of the Ooze quest only as a stepping stone and not the actual best spot in the game. The next spots are actually the best overall, so you don't want to miss any of them. And if you are getting value so far, subscribe to the channel. Liking the video and engaging in the comments helps me more than you can imagine. Join our Discord server and team up with other players and help us build our community. Things will go spicier from here as we are about to dive into the best MSP farming spots in the game. And taking the top 3 spotlight is the Myths Are Real quest. I see this method as the second stepping stone for players who just completed the DLC story missions. This method will allow you to farm the Brightbone Ragnarok boss without any hassle, especially with the party setup that I'm about to show you. These orange highlighted quests and the upcoming spot will be available as an endgame missions after completing the DLC story missions. To get the best results from all of the upcoming methods, I've optimized a dedicated auto farming build aside from the ooze. This party build is optimized to destroy endgame bosses in minutes. This allows me to gain more raw materials and MSP per hour, of course. Eustace is non-negotiable set as the main character AI and also one of the best damage dealers in the party. This build will absolutely obliterate any endgame bosses, and the followers of this channel knows why, especially if you are following my AI companion series. Frau and Eustace are the true behemoths in the current meta, and these two characters usually race to be at the top of the damage charts across all of my tests. So it is a no-brainer for us to use Eustace and Frau together if we are aiming for the fastest auto clear times possible. Of course, our gal Frau is equipped with all of the bells and whistles in the current DLC, so she can do the most serious damage possible. Siegfried is not only the best dealer of stun damage in the game, but he can also output a ton of raw damage. In fact, he is one of the strongest character along with Frau and Eustace. And this is coming from a position of having this guy tested from hundreds of hours now. The fourth slot can be anyone, but if you simply want the best results across the board, Eugen is my first choice for the fourth slot. I will not call this guy the best ranged character in the entire game for no reason, and Eugen actually sits in the top 5 rankings of my recent AI companion series. And again, if you don't have the exact setup that I have here, just work with what you have and aim for the closest setup. With the exact setup that I've shown you so far, here's an example of what kind of performance you can expect across the board from Eustace, Frau, Siegfried, and Eugen. Just look at how insane the overall damage is from each of these characters. Just in case you are wondering where I get my data, I am currently covering the best AI companion series, and all episodes are linked in the description for your convenience. Now that the build is ready, running the Myths Are Real is pretty straightforward. Nothing special to note in the actual run aside from the party destroying this boss. If you do have the exact party that I just showed you, expect an average clear time of a lightning fast 1 minute and 57 seconds. But if you factor in the loading times and SBA pauses, real-world clear times are averaging 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Each run gives you 30k MSP, so that's an insane 510 to 525,000 MSP per hourly runs. Not only that, this method gives you 425 to 459 Fortitude Crystal Large as a huge bonus. And it doesn't stop there. The Myths Are Real quest will give you the chance to get the Behemoth Summoning Crystal. These summoning crystals can give you Stout Heart as the main trait, while also giving you the chance to have increased normal or skill damage caps for all of your party members. And this is more valuable than getting raw MSP alone. On top of that, expect level 20 legendary Right Stones for your character progression needs, Silver Centriums, and Azurite Splendors. Sure, the 525 million MSP per hour can't match the Revenge of the Ooze quest, but the Summoning Crystal alone is critical for your overall character progression needs. You will be hunting these Summoning Crystals anyway for days because of their abysmal drop rates, just to get optimal combinations. And MSP is just a single part of your character progression, so your auto farming time should be spent on farming summoning crystals. And this is the reason why Revenge of the Ooze is not really the best path overall, because at the end game, the raw MSP gains per hour are not the only factor that player needs to consider. And the main question here is what summoning crystals they can get, other rewards, and how much MSP they can get from a mission. But we are just getting started. The next spots are the best overall, giving you better hourly gain, so you don't want to miss any of them. Taking the top 2 spotlight is the 4 Dragons of the Apocalypse. And yes, my dear viewer, it is not the best spot overall. This spot is insane when it comes to MSP gains per session. But the caveat is that players will be dealing with multiple dragon bosses, which is not really a big deal for our setup. The 4 Dragons of the Apocalypse quest is one of the post-DLC missions in Chaos++ difficulty as mentioned. You will be surprised how well my suggested setup performs in this mission. And the team will start with the normal attacks and skill rotation to burst the first dragon. And the same applies to the next one. With this specific setup, a full SBA chain burst will commence when fighting the second dragon. This gives the entire party 100% link time burst and take out the second dragon in the process. And here comes the fun part. When the last batch of dragons comes out in the third round, the party usually targets the fire dragon and bursts it down in a single link time burst. This is made possible because the team usually has the full damage bonuses during this phase. And with proper AI targeting, the dragon usually dies in a single link time burst or is left almost dead most of the time. And then the party will just double down on the last dragon to complete the mission. In-game time takes a lightning fast, 3 minutes and 55 seconds, but real-world clear times is usually around 6 minutes and 40 seconds, giving you 40 Fortitude Crystal Large and 70k MSP per session. So in an hour of consistent farming, expect a whopping 630 to 639,000 MSP and 360 Fortitude Crystals per hourly runs, while also giving you the chance to get level 20 legendary Right Stones, Silver Centriums, and the best of all, the Fireworm Summoning Crystals. The Fireworm Summon Crystal can give you a level 15 Stout Heart trait just like the Behemoth, and can also provide your party with a 50% damage cap increase. But what if I told you that this spot is nothing compared to the next spot? See for yourself. I firmly believe that the Chaos++ Lucilius quest is hands down the best MSP farming spot in the game when it comes to overall value. If you're following my guide so far, you already saw this coming. I keep mentioning how this spot can give you so much value in exchange for your time. Why, you ask? This spot not only can give you a whopping 588,000 MSP per hour, but also gives you the chance to get Lucilius Stones. Lucilius Stones can give you an insane 50% to 100% damage cap increase, along with the Berserker Echo for its main trait, which is also critical for your overall character progression. And yes, my dear viewer, 100% damage cap summon stones can drop in Chaos++ difficulty. This also applies to Roland Summoning Crystal in the World's Mission and to Bill's Bob Summoning Crystal as well. And the reason why you can get 500 million plus MSP per hour is because of the 10 to 13 K9Y blooms and the possible Azurite Splendors that Lucilius drops in this mission. 3 K9Y blooms can be traded with Shero in exchange for 1 Ambrosia. Each Ambrosia can give the player 15k MSP per use, so you are getting 45k to 60k MSP per attempt, which is totally nuts. Not to mention that you can exchange excess Assured Splendors for Ambrosia as well as a bonus. The Prayer of Blackwing's Demise is the key quest for this method if you want to start gaining insane MSP and summoning crystals. Compared to the previous spots, this mission can be accessed by just reaching the Chaos++ difficulty. Ready to get your minds blown, since the team that I asked you to make can decimate Lucilius in minutes. Your allies usually suffer damage at the start of battle when Lucilius casts the first Paradise Lost mechanic. This is not a big deal as your full auto farmers will gain their life back through draining. The party will then start raining down damage on Lucilius until his HP drops around 47% mark. Lucilius will then cast his Absolute Nothing mechanic where your companions can easily survive. The party will then cast a full SBA Chain Burst which will then destroy Lucilius. Pay close attention to this, as the whole SBA Chain Burst animation will lower Lucilius' HP from 43% to near 0%. That will either lead Lucilius go enrage or die. My auto farming setup is averaging a lightning fast 1 minute and 56 seconds, but if you factor in the loading times, mechanics, and SBA pauses, actual real-world clear time is around 5 minutes and 5 seconds. Each run can give you 7 to 8k MSP and 45k MSP from Ambrosia use as mentioned. So in an hour of consistent farming, we are expecting a whopping 577 to 588,000 MSP per hourly runs, not counting the gains that can be gotten from the Azurite Splendors, along with level 20 Rightstones, Silver Centrums, and possible Azurite Splendors. Truly the best MSP spot when it comes to overall value. But what if I told you that you can make your runs even faster with Lucilius? Seasoned players will suggest Percival if a player loves to get the fastest clear time possible in all of the spots that we talked about so far. Percival can no doubt increase your party's overall performance because this character is bugged at the moment, making his damage reach the moon because of his buggy rotor Wilbur skill. He will likely get fixed very soon, so I am suggesting this character separately. So if you do have a Percy build lying around in your lineup, you can replace Eugen in the lineup that I just suggested. And of course, this guy has the latest and strongest possible setup when it comes to the build. His absurdly strong Molten Edge Master style synergizes well with his Rotor Wilbur exploit, making him deal an absurd amount of damage. You can also see the comparison in here that the team with Eugen still has the faster clear times across the board compared to Percival against Lucilius. But this test only covers a small sample size. I had so many instances where I managed to clear Lucilius with a mind-blowing 1 minute and 39 seconds in full auto with Percival. So ultimately, if Percy received the adjustment, Eugen can still give you optimal results across the board. And if you want to know why Eustace and Frau are the best characters all around, click on this video and learn everything you need to know. And with that, I'm the Samurai. Thank you for watching and I will catch you on the next one.